There are some times when you'd like to place titles at the top of each page in your printed document, and you want them to be consistent from page to page. What that's called is called a header. You can also put the same kind of information down at the bottom of the page, and that's called a footer. What we're going to do now is we're going to explore easy ways to add that kind of information to printed documents in Excel 2007. I'm going to work with my page layout view because that gives me the easiest way to access the information, and it also shows me right up front how it's going to look on my printed page, which has been a concern with previous versions of Excel in using headers and footers. It's indicating to me where I can center the first piece of my header. So if I just click on that, you'll notice that it activates a line that has 3 sections. I have a left area, a middle area, and a right area, and I can put separate header information in each of these. For example, if I wanted to put the date in the far left corner of my document, I could select that header quadrant, go up to current date in my header and footer elements area, and select it. And you'll notice it populates a tag. What that's going to do is it's going to print the current date every time this particular document is open. We'll see how this looks in a moment. So don't get worried that this is actually going to print out on your document. It's just a tag. It's some information that the computer understands that will pull in the date, the current date. And if I click over to my center, you'll notice that it populates the date that I'm working with today. In the center, I may want to put in a title. I could use, again, one of my footer elements. I could use my sheet name, which would pre-populate in my Eat Cake Inventory List A name. I could input a picture, so I could add a nice graphic. Here in the center of my document, I'm going to type the name of this particular list. So I'm going to call it the Eat Cake Inventory List. Over in the far right, I'm going to add one other smart element, and that's the number of pages, the actual page number that I'm working with. And as I click off that, I now have page number 1. So I've set up the header for this particular page. If I scroll over to page number 2 by using my scroll bar, and I now go on to page number 2, you'll see that some of the information has stayed the same. The date is now the same, my title is the same, but my page number has changed to show page number 2. So by using the header and footer elements, it really saves you a lot of time. If I click go down to the footer, it now pulls me from the top of the page down to the bottom of the page, and I can add other information at the bottom of each of the screens. Down at the bottom of my page in my footer, I'm going to put in my tagline, Eat Cake. I click off of my headers and footers so that I now can go over to my print preview icon and see how this looks. Notice now that I have my headers put at the top of my pages. I'm just going to click off the show margin so that we get a nice clean view here. And if I go down to my next page, I see the headers there as well. Let's see if my footers came by. I scroll down to the bottom of my screen, and there's my little tagline at the bottom. If I zoom out, I get a nice view of how my information is going to be presented. I think we've done a very good job at learning how to use our print options in Excel 2007, and we're ready to go on to our next topic.